Heyo, and welcome to another episode of Late Night with the Professor. Today I'm going to be showing you how to manipulate the direction that a sphere goes when it spawns. You can use different types of wires or build parts, and you can get them to do a lot of different cool things. As long as you understand the collision detection of the balls, you can get them to spin and rotate at what speed and what direction you want. Although it does seem to be on a save and reload that things are a little bit different each time, but in general, if you follow this guide, you will basically be able to learn the mechanics of what is going on and adjust and adapt them however you like to fit whatever build you have going on. So, first and foremost, we'll just go ahead and make this guy right here, which has recently been featured in a circus base by somebody. I can't think of their name right now. I'll put it in the description. At any rate, it's a fairly simple process to do, even if you want to rescale it or do multiple of them near each other or on top of each other. So we'll just repeat this process right about here. Just gonna grab myself a center point. If you don't know how to grab yourself a center wire, you should probably check out Glitch Building 101, a cheeky little playlist that I have on my channel. Right, so after you have a cheeky little wire like this, first thing we're going to want to do, place a wall right here. We don't need it now. Stop asking. Just do it. Then what we're going to do is take a small floor panel like so. Place it right here. I like using stone walls for this next part, the half walls, because at least for this measurement that we're doing, there is a nice cheeky little spot that you can kind of use as a gauge to where you are going to be wire glitching from the center like so. It does not have to be perfect, as you know. It doesn't have to be perfect because you are free placing all of these, and as you can see, it still works even though there are probably tons of tiny little micro discrepancies in the exact distance from the downward center part to the outside edges. Now, with that said, in order to grab these wires here, the teleporter cable wires, you're going to start out with a normal wire, place one end in the center here, and then you're going to press your cycle part button, which is going to cycle to the byte beat cable, but you can't place it right now, so you're going to need to press your free place button, your toggle free place button. So now you can place this anywhere you want. But we don't want this cable, we want the next one, so we're going to place our reticle where we want this, and then adjacency glitch by pressing the cycle part and the place, or the place wire and cycle part buttons at the exact same time. Bam! Now, as you can see, we have a SRT cable going from our center point up to that point right there, and we're going to repeat this process for each of these four sides here. Now you can do this with two sides. It is a little bit more difficult. You can do it with three sides, and you can do it with four sides. You can do it with as many different sides as you want. I'm just doing four here because that's the easiest. And if there's anything you guys know about me, I do things the easy way. That's a little joke for you people that actually know me. So yeah, once again, just in case you missed it the first time, stop asking. You just cycle parts, toggle free placement, and then cycle part and place wire at the same time. Bing, bang, boom. Really not too difficult of a process, all things considered. Now, once you have that, you can delete your scaffolding, your small walls here, and then all you have is this kind of upside down pyramid wireframe of these wires. Now, you can delete this small floor as well. And next, we are going to UAG a sphere generator, one small floor down below, right at the center point, which all you have to do is store one of these in your cache by pressing your toggle wire and your toggle edit build buttons at the exact same time. If you have the place wire option in your top left of your build menu and you do not have a wire out, but rather this square reticle out, then you have gotten the glitch correctly. Then we're going to duplicate a floor like this, and then we're going to wire glitch like that, placing this directly at the center. Now, we are going to grab this, then connect it to where we have power. Let's just go ahead and connect it to nothing. Just for the purposes of this, I'm going to connect it to a button. Where are the buttons at? Anybody know? There's one. Alright, so we're going to connect this to something that has power. Let's do that. Alright. This is my sphere song. Alright, so we're going to press that, and bam. As you can see, it creates a sphere, and then because of the collision detection of the wires, it lifts it up and then balances it right there. Interesting thing, you can actually... Here, actually, to demonstrate this, I'm going to give this a cheeky, dinky save. You can now, and it is kind of pointless, but I just thought it was an interesting fact, you can delete these, and the ball's just going to stay there floating on absolutely nothing. There's literally nothing there that's keeping the ball in place, but it's there. Not really practical for doing any sort of bases or anything like that, because the second you save and reload, it just stores back in here and doesn't appear until you spawn it again. But I just thought that that was interesting. Maybe there's something you can do with this at some point in time. Don't know, don't care for the purposes of this tutorial. Now, let's reload. I don't feel like redoing all that stuff again. Can't be bothered. Right. So here we are, back at it again. Now, what we're going to want to do in order to get this to slowly rotate in any direction that we want, and again, it really can change depending upon where you put the wires at the top, but there are certain ways you can manipulate it to spin in different directions in which way you want. As you can see, this one, I have placed a little crisscross pattern of wires a little bit to this direction here, making the ball spin counterclockwise. This one here, I have done the opposite and placed them a little bit to the lower side, making the ball spin clockwise. This one, I don't know what I did with this one. This one just kind of spins laterally on its side, but this one wasn't doing that yesterday, so I'm assuming that on a save and reload, these are all going to be different each time, which they have kind of been. These two are a little bit more consistent than that one, but at any rate, I'm going to show you exactly how I got those. Really simple if you know what you're doing, which I'm about to teach you how to do and know what you're doing. Actually, I don't remember how many this was. Let's do that. And then all we really need, and I'll demonstrate this for you, is we need something that has collision detection at the top of this ball. And we need to have it close enough to the ball that it interacts with the collision detection of the ball itself, like that. You see how this guy's going a little bit crazy now? That's because he's trapped in there, and he doesn't like being trapped. Who does? So, what we're going to do is try and figure out a nice, cheeky little spot just above that. And there's a lot of different ways you can do these cheeky little micro adjustments. I'm just going to do this because it's a very, very cheap and easy way to do it. I'm going to toggle to a wire, place it at the center, do this a couple of times, just so I have kind of a reticle or a crosshair here that I can kind of go off of. Now, if I delete this guy and delete that guy, as you can see, the ball is still slightly rotating a little bit because of the collision detection. We can delete this top guy because of the tiny, tiny little bit of collision detection that this floor is interacting with the top of the sphere, and it gives it a very nice slow rotation. So if we wanted to do this without having a floor there, all we need to do, go ahead and get rid of that guy. All we need to do is basically do the same thing with any kind of wires. It really doesn't matter, but if you want to maintain the invisible ball floating in the air illusion, you need to do this with the teleporter cable. So again, toggle to your electrical wire, place yourself one end of it, give yourself a little length, then cycle parts, toggle free placement, and then we're going to adjacency glitch, giving yourself a cheeky little bit of invisible wire there, almost invisible wire. Now we can delete this, delete the wall, delete the little walls, then we can go ahead and again UAG our sphere generator right about now, then reconnect it to the power, and bada bing, bada boom. Now we're going to have a ball that appears, floats up to a certain point, and then starts rotating on its own. Like I've shown you here, you can do this with these wires, you can do them with those wires, you can do them with the support or the supply cables, you can even do it with regular wires. And it looks pretty cool no matter what you do. You can do it with a minimum of two different ones, two different cables, as I can demonstrate for you here. I will go ahead and delete this one and the one on the opposite side. Uh-oh, that's embarrassing. There we go. As you can see, it still floats up and rotates ever so slightly, but because it doesn't float up as high as having 4 different things, I don't think it's getting all the collision detection from this, so it's really not rotating as much as it was before. Anyways, not a big deal. You can fix that if you know what you're doing. So if you basically can see that the process is just using the wires and their collision detection to force the ball to a specific location, and then using wires or something else on the other side of the ball to induce collision detection on the opposite side to give it the illusion of floating in place and then give it rotation at the same time. Very, very cheeky idea. I love it. You'll love to see it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. And yeah, I will see you guys on the next one.